Everybody, and welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mystic Raven. Alright guys, so today I kind of want to discuss the importance of counterplay. So usually I do kind of the dailies in the mornings, but I wanted to switch it up today. And I don't have a lot of tunes accessible on the PC like I do on the PlayStation. I'm still working on a lot of things. But I wanted to discuss balance isn't too much of an issue, right, in Elder Scrolls as important in PvP as much as counterplay. Counterplay becomes a very important aspect to how well that class in that role is going to function. And one of the major problems is how to get past people's counterplay. So I'm just going to open up some skills. We're going to go through it, and I'm going to kind of give you guys an example. Nightblade has a lot of movability. Not so great on survivability, but its counter options is what makes it very, very powerful a lot of the times. So when I go into the skills, and let's say we go down to assassination, right? Gap closers is a great way for people to close the gap for people who are running Morning Lewis, who's going to be running Major Expedition. One of the counters to get out of a bad situation is simply to use speed enhancement. Major and Minor Expedition will do that for players. So what becomes an important way to counter a Major Expedition or a player running is gap closers. So Ambush or Lotus is great because it closes those gaps, or trying to match their speed with another form of Major Expedition. Pierce Mark is what we call a form of debuff. So debuffing in PvP is also as equally as important, especially when you're taking a look at healers and tanks. The problem with healers and tanks is they're able to heal a tremendous amount, so you have to reduce their healing, or tanks, you have to drop their resistance. And Pierce Mark does that because it's going to apply Major Fracture, Major Breach, reducing their resistance, allowing you to hit harder. Because in Cyrodiil, we have no cap on resistance. So, you take a look, they can get up to about 31k in resistance on a tank. That significantly drops your DPS. So sometimes you need a form of a debuff. Now, if you don't have abilities like this that offer Major Fracture, Major Breach, your option now becomes in counter is poisons, because now you can create a multitude of poisons to apply, though you'll be sacrificing your enchantment. By doing so, though, you get another form of counter in response to the opponent you're facing. That it becomes as equally as important. So also blur. Now this is the major thing. So Nightblades don't have a traditional shield like sorcerers do with ward. Instead, they get blur, they can morph it, and then what ends up happening, it increases their dodge resistance, their dodge chance, right? And then there's other perks to having it with their morphs. That's a form of counter, right? So if you can go ahead and dodge some of these attacks, you're ideally, hopefully, trying to reduce the amount of damage you're taking. Problem of it is it's a chance, right? It says chance by 15%. In 3 hits against a good player, you're dead, right? So sometimes you have to take chance out of the equation and go with what's more viable. I mean, on stand builds, it works out great. Something like, Shuffle. And now they fixed that with this update, so you have to have 5 medium to take your Shuffle. And I think that's a good start because, anybody could just pop in Shuffle. Okay, well, now I can have a chance to dodge. And for a stand player who's going to be up in combat, that's more important. But if you're a Magicka user, you want to go with more shielding systems, from ranged attacks. So, but how do you counter that? How do you counter? And this is the problem that ZeniMax is having with the gameplay, because now players can stack effects, right? Like shields. And there's no way to counter that, right? Because now even if you can somehow get the shield down, they can just reapply because there's no global cooldown. This is a Twitch-based game. And when you bump into that problem, it makes that class more resilient. And that's what makes a class like the Sorcerer overpowered. It's not the skills in sequence or the class itself. It's the ability to stack the effects that are making the players overpowered or seem like better players than what they are. I'm not saying that players aren't good who do it, but they know, hey, if I want a 1vx, the best thing I can do without diminishing my output of my damage is to stack effects. Morning, Robert. And that becomes, problematic. Another effect that we see for Nightblades is the aspect of terror. Now, this has changed because, they changed it since PTS. It will be coming into the console. But we can summon a Dark Spirit to terrify up to 2 enemies, causing them to flee for 4.5 seconds. So it was 3, got reduced down to 2, and they increased the duration of the fear. Problem of it is fears can be broke, but it costs stamina, right? The nice thing also is, though, is it reduces their movement speed. So even if they break, they're within your... their movement speed is reducing. Even if they apply that major expedition, right, their movement speed is still hindered. So there are elements of counterplay in the game. So ZOS has the counterplay there, right? Which is great because when you affect when you can, moderate those effects, it keeps it from nerfing PvE aspects of the class, ideally. But there's they're not controlling the players who's able to stack. And that becomes the problem with balance issues. It's not the classes too much, it's the counterplay and how people are stacking these effects that make them overpowered. And a lot of players are talking about this. What can ZOS do to, help the counterplay more? Well, that becomes a question. And it's easier said than done because for the developers, they know what's there, they know what needs to be fixed, but how do you implement it? It takes time. And that's why I say patience is a virtue. And I think, this is a class-based game. We're always going to have these problems. For also Nightblades, cloak. Okay, you can go ahead and cloak. And a lot of players want to say, oh, yeah, I can easily get out of cloak. Not so much, man. It's actually not so easy. Once a good Nightblade pops in and out of cloak and they can get that distance, there's not enough detection radius in my opinion. Most people, usually you have an auto detect in every game that when you walk up to a player and within a couple of meters you detect them. But Nightblades can also almost be like almost on top of you without being detected unless you have Mage Light on or a detection pod or some sort of effect to pull them out. And that's the problem. There's no innate detect radius, and some of the effects are not applying a larger enough radius to make Nightblade scared to come out of stealth. The thing about rogue classes is timing. But in a game like this, it becomes almost obsolete. It almost becomes like, what's the point? I'm actually going to queue a couple BGs. I want to change a few things in my champion system real quick. I spec for healer, but I do got to make some slight alterations here. Ain't maxed. Oh, hello, David. Afternoon. Nice to see you on. I'm going to take a little bit out of this. I don't want to take too much. I could probably bring this down too. I don't want to affect my PvE build as much either, but I do need some more impen. Morning, Rock. Yeah, it looks good. Did this add a point left? Oh, over here. That looks good. That looks good. Right there. And yeah, I was working on that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to queue a couple BGs. We got champion points. I am on my Nightblade healer. Morning, Mustang. But counterplay is definitely something that it can always be improved upon. And in games like this, it is apparent. Something like rooting, stunning, cooldown effects. I think one of the main reasons they wanted to implement CP into Battlegrounds was because of the break free problem. A lot of players didn't like Battlegrounds because, unfortunately, once you get stunned or a form of CC, the break was not apparent. So Magicka users or Nightblades were more dominant in Battlegrounds. You know, a lot of people were complaining about that. So now how do you fix that problem? Well, that's simple. We'll introduce the CP into the Battlegrounds. That becomes a whole different problem now, because now you have builds that, like in Domination, if a tank has a solid build, they can just sit on the flag. And that's why I can't, you know, I've made the Templar tank build. Like, it takes, well, last night, for example, I was PvPing. One of my friends and me, we get in a group. He's on late night. I was surprised to see him. But he's EP. We group up, and I can be in front of 8 players. Easy. No problem. Unless they're skilled, and they know how to beat it. And they know how to counter it. So one of the ways they countered a tank was taking 2 players, because you can't 1v1 me. You can't. You can't 1v1 me in a build like that. It's impossible. It's next to impossible. You can try to CC all day long. You're not enough. But they were on Nightblades. So they had a Nightblade and they had something else. So the Nightblade went ahead and feared me, right? Out of my rotation. I couldn't block. I couldn't, and then he debuffed me, because remember, Nightblade's counter, one of the counters that Nightblade makes Nightblade so strong, is disease damage. So when they apply disease, it reduces my healing, right? That's a counter. And if you don't have a Nightblade and you want to go ahead, that defile is important. Defiling players in PvP, like, I love it when I get trolls, when I come out with PvP builds and I roll poisons. Because a lot of players are like, oh, nobody rolls poisons. And I'm like, well, that's your option. That's your choice. But for me, as a PvPer, I know what's out there. I know what players are rocking. And I'm not going to go ahead and not be able to counter that somehow, right? That's what you're trying to do when you put on poisons. You're trying to anticipate the counter. Drains become very, very powerful, because when you take away their resource, you're basically taking their ability, taking away their effectiveness to counter or deal the damage or heal or so forth. One of the major things on my DK that I like to do, a lot of problems people have with DK because pressure. Who takes dots serious? And I think Zoss needs to take a look at dot damage. Dot damage was something you never underestimated in any other PvP other than this. Why? Because you don't need a cleanse. You can just out-heal it. When ESO released, there were no cooldowns on any skills at all. CDs have been added over time to certain skills, of course. And it's... I think CDs... I like the aspect that there was no cooldowns in this game, but unfortunately it's not practical not to have any, because now you just have spammers and people running crazy builds that you can't stop. You can't stop them because there is no effect. When a player can purge anytime, what does dot damage have any significance to? You take away 2 effects per cleanse. Boom, boom, gone, gone, gone. That puts the DK at a very serious disadvantage. So now, how do you counter that? You have to run drains. So on my DK, I run drains. Why? Because I know I'm going to bump into a Templar. I know he's going to heal. I know he's going to cleanse my dots. So what do I have to do to beat this guy down? I have to take away his resources. I have to. I have no options. The first CD added was to CC type skills in PvP. And of course, that's what it is. Anytime you see nerfs, whether they affect PvP or PvE, is usually in response to PvP balance. PvE, you can always improve, right? And I think ZeniMax does this better than any company I've ever played for, or played with, or for. I have done testing for companies. And it's kind of interesting to see it, because it's like, okay, there's a balance gap, a huge balance gap in this game. But in this game, there are some balance issues, but they keep marginal pretty damn good. Better than any other companies I usually have played with. And it's amazing. So we got a 4v3v2. I have a Dragon Knight and 2 Nightblades. Probably a Stand Blade. I'm not max CP, so technically I'm supposed to be at a disadvantage here. So basically with this build, we got a 4V. Okay, so it's all full. So I run the troll, run transmutation. Transmutation's on the back. I use it for the hots, so I keep it up with the funnel health and my shit. Purple is Cancer. He must know that it's a pre-made. It could be a pre-made. 100% AIDS. Actually, I'm gonna. Fuck it.
Our ancestors are watching.
Okay. Okay, it's a death match. I was afraid this. I could have probably kept the healing springs up. First ones in are usually the first ones to die. Nice. Hit me straight up with the dawn. I got doubled fucking ulti? Is that fucking real? Did that just fucking happen? Doubled ulti. Wow. I'm going to switch out one skill here. I'll take out the fear. We'll take out the mechanic. You need CCs in the game. Yeah, perma-stuns suck. Woo! It's hot! It's like a mosh pit. I bet you I'm on red. Of course I am. This is going to be another problem too, staying in group in Battlegrounds. I think there's sometimes a little bit of advantage for players who will, coordinate a little bit better. Whether they use Discord or not, I don't know. Now see, for me to go in there trying to heal this dude is a nightmare right from the rip. Why? Because he's by himself. We going in there, it's like a suicide mission. I'm getting friggin' mauled. Yeah, it's probably a pre-made. It looks like a pre-made. That's another thing I'm disagreeing on. I'm in a pug. I have a disadvantage right from the fucking rip. Right? I have a total disadvantage. And now that Uzas lets pre-mades roll in. I don't know if it's a pre-made. I can't say for sure. But pre-mades, I'm disagreeing on. They should have their own separate queue. No other game does allow this shit. Fuck them. Nightblade coming in. Yeah, I see you, little fucker. Should have grabbed some trash pots. Yep, always nice. Getting doubled up, doubled up, doubled up. My team's not staying together either. It makes it kind of my job a little harder. They're running amok. Get together. Get together and stay together. Make my job a little easier. Fucking Nightblades. Doubled fucking Nightblade? Oh, I had a take. Reverse slice. No, it wasn't. I don't know if it was Nightblade. I got the back end of it, though. I love the pace. I love the pace in Battlegrounds. But when you got multiple players hitting you, you're pretty dead. No skills other than Twitch was required, right? And that's what it is. I don't think there's skill in this game. I feel like the skill's getting sucked. Well, I feel like there was issues with the game when I first started. It's the most combatant game out there, though, which is unfortunate that it's becoming like this. Really? Can I please these? I bet you the Nightblade is leading the board right now. Yeah. Come on. Take out the healer. That's all it's about. There's the Nightblade. I don't even see my team. Skip. Are you fucking serious? That's definitely coordinated. This is pre-made groups need to be in separate queues. I agree. I fucking agree. Zoss. No fucking way. And it shows. The guy said, what did he say at the beginning of this match? Purple is cancer. Why? Because it's a fucking pre-made. Why are you pulling pre-mades in with pugs? Friggin' crazy. Hitting up. Because somebody got me with the fucking reverse. Another person got me with the friggin' shit. I could smell Nightblade all day. Nightblades. And this is my problem. How do you counter something that can just in and out pop out and the detection's not there? It's just bullshit. There's no risk to it. There's no risk to say, hey, you know what? If you get within so much, your shit's going to pop out. And there's no risk to it. None. Yep, nothing being hit. I can guarantee you. Dawnbreaker, reverse. Watch your back, guys. Ugh. Watch. My team's not staying together well. See how they're staying tight? That's game. We'll do another one. Pit Demons actually had the highest kills to death with assist. And with CP on top of pre-mades, damn BGs has gotten dirty. It has, and I agree. You know, I feel like You've taken competitive. Who under, like, imagine a fresh 200 CP coming in to this. They're queuing up with pre-made with max CP. What chance do they have? It's like ZOS is cutting its throat. I'm not against CP in Battlegrounds. Keep it separate. I'm not against pre-mades playing Battlegrounds. Keep it separate. Casual. There are more casual players than hardcore players. And I feel like ZOS is killing PvP in this way. Pre-made groups have a huge advantage. Experience, playing together, voice communication, right. And that's one thing in on console we have. So we don't have to use a third-party program. It's in our consoles. So we can use voice communication when we group up. It automatically puts us in group. Though most of the time I don't do it because you get a lot of casual players. And I already hit like the top 10 for Battlegrounds in PS. So I do Battlegrounds. I don't like where it's at the moment because I feel like there could be more. Adding CP without a separate queue like in Cyrodiil was a huge mistake. It was a massive mistake. It's a huge mistake because now you're going to have the same players wrecking everything. And that's like yesterday I did a vid with players killing Cyrodiil. From my understanding, we had a huge population drop in Vivac on PS4. Why? Why did that happen? I'll tell you why. Because there's alliances, there's players faction swapping. They're aligned with players of the opposite faction between AD and DC on PS4. And it's the whole mentality between the friends is fuck EP. It doesn't matter. We'll work out who gets Emperor this week. We'll work out which faction's winning campaign. But the whole idea was fuck EP. That's what it is. It's intentional. It's intentional. And a lot of EP players were so frustrated with the Green Alliance and the faction swapping, with these players being able to get on a different faction on their account and play the same shit, that they left Vivac. And it's driving players away. And players are killing it. It's not ZOS so much, but ZOS is by allowing it to players to be able to do that, they're going to take advantage of it. Give pre-Jades and CP pre-mades, I imagine it was just typo, and CP separate queues. They are fine with separate queues. Exactly. I'm not against it. I agree with you, Rock. I completely 100% agree. Totally. If I want to roll with the pre-made, and let's say I grab a pre-made team, and I say, okay, you know, I'm going to go pre-made, then I should be able to queue at a higher level of PvP competition. Right? That's what Blizzard does. And for Blizzard's ups and downs, and especially the way they've done their fucking shit for their trees and skills, the one advantage Blizzard has over its competition in PvP is separation. Ranking separation. I was a 2-time Grand Marshal. 2-time. It's hard. It was a fucking hard accomplishment for me. I was pretty hardcore PvP. But Blizzard realized, like, I try to stay pug as much as possible, and I did a couple pre-made, couple pre-mades that affect queue times at the time. We were penalized for it. Rightfully so. Because you put in the top PvPers in any group, all of a sudden, on the same faction, all of a sudden shit's getting wrecked. Right? But for pugs, they didn't stand a chance. And it's like, so Blizzard says, you know what, we're keeping it separated. And that's what they do. So their ranking system, everything, they're in E-games for a reason. This game has potential to be, for Battlegrounds to be in E-games, but you have to keep competition separated. The premise is there. The classes are there. The abilities are there. The problem of it is a few minor tweaks. Blizzard's far from balanced. Okay? They're in E-games, but the game's not balanced. The one thing that Blizzard thrives on, and it's whatever, is trying to keep counterplay under control. They struggle with it because you still have classes like Druid that'll just, like, you know, roll over. you know, people. I don't have to have the highest heals. I have more survivability than the priest. I don't, but I have healing. I have higher survivability than the priest, and then on top of it, I have ability to, you know, mobilization. I'm more mobile, so I feel like there are class balance in every game that has a class system. Balance issues are always going to be apparent in class-based games. That's why I kind of like cringe at class-based games. I'm still waiting for a sandbox MMO to come out. Why? Because you can't cry about balance. It's about how you literally spec your character point for point. If it's not balanced and you can't compete, that's not because of the game. It's because of your build, and that's reflective. Capture the relic. Why do they do this to me? Nice CC. There's a CC, and this is what I was hoping to show you guys. Nice. And see, you'll notice like my resources start draining, right? He's running drains. Why is he running drains? Because he knows, he's a DK, he knows. I have to take out their resources. The more I'm going to cast, the harder it's going to hurt my resources, right? I throw 1 or 2 fucking abilities. You know, I got 32k fucking max Magica with Troll, and it's costing me 3 or 4k. Why am I running out on 3 or 4? Well, that's simple. He's running fucking drains. It's costing me 60% more per. Got a Night Blade behind me. Nice bash. Him switching targets was a bad mistake. Fucking bullshit. That was freaking hurts. I got pipped from a back. The other night, Blue had most of the scrolls, and loads of Blues took a scroll from Blues and took it to Yellow. Yeah, and it's apparent. Like I said, it's blatant. It's fucking blatant. The alliance issues are blatant in this game, and it's killing it. What the fuck? Ah! Bad thing about being a healer, I'm trying to find players, but fuck it. I bet you I'm on... Oh, no, I'm on Pit Demons. Okay. Oh, what the fuck is this? They added a fucking grab? Is this fucking real right now? Oh my god, I didn't know they did this. You used to be able to walk over it. Oh my god. That is crazy. I was like, wait a minute, why didn't I just grab it? Why didn't I just grab that fucker? I have to actually take it now. Makes sense. I think that's a good feature. Goes off. Okay, I'll give you that one. I'm going to try to keep up with some of these names, because I'm unfamiliar with a lot of players in this platform. You know, I'm at a complete disadvantage. A lot of these guys are like 690 CP. I'm like 520 something, 540 maybe. And people are like, is that a huge disadvantage? Can be. Let's check out my resistance. 1784. That's not too bad, though. Not completely ideal, but I've never seen that happen on PCNA server. No, and it doesn't, Rock. Here's the deal, Rock. Okay, so on PC, and I think that's why I'm favoring PC PvP more and more these days. Way more. You have, I think, more timed or more seasoned players on PC, and it's apparent. So PvP is on a whole different level on PC, and I hate to say that, and I don't want to make it sound like it's whatever, but it is. And on PC, there are no alliances. There's no faction swapping going on and say, oh yeah. And if there are players who play on other factions, they don't do it to basically butt fuck, or no, I shouldn't say that, or try to butt hurt the other faction. And on consoles, morning Todd, on consoles, it is apparent. It is bad. It's really bad. Okay, now look. Pickles and BBB were on the same team last time. They're a pre-made. Any advice for novice PvP players? Work on with a partner with getting some basic shit down. You know, one of the major things I see players make a mistake with, and especially even on group play. If you're going to group, let's say you go in Cyrodiil, stay with your group. Don't chase. I'll see players that, like, a sorcerer will take off, and then one or two players will chase them. I'm like, those are dead players. Those are dead. So don't, like, work with a partner. Get on dueling. Get your basic combos down Mustang. Learn how to loss when appropriate. If you can get a loss out, it becomes very important in how that works. I'm going to try to stay to the back. Nice, nice. Feared. Come on, come on, come on! Go, let's go. Come on. Hate these little lips. Oh shit. Nice, nice. They figured it out. Take out the healer. Everyone just chasing red team. I'm trying to stay with my party. It doesn't matter which way they go. I'm the healer. Doesn't matter which way. It is what it is. Number 1 scorer right now. So let's keep it going. Let's go, guys. We'll mark him. He's not getting away anytime soon. Nice, Nightblade up. Keep him off me, keep him off me. Fuck you guys. Boom! What's that on you? Do you have something on your nose? Fucking red's taking it back, man. Oh yeah, fuck this. Yeah, we'll take this shit. I got red on me. Come on, man. Come on, serious? Fuck him. I'll put a refreshing path in this bitch. Fucking A! Lock him out! Oh my god! I was robbed! Get me! Get me! Fuck! Fuck! Shit! Alright, we're gonna have to regroup. Middle's back up. Let's get in there. Too much. Why are we separated? This is where you start losing, man. This is where you start losing. Remember in WoW PvP that add-on healers must die? Yeah! A healer got in range, you will automatically target. Yeah, that was bullshit. I wasn't a big fan of whatever. Nice. That was kind of... See how the reds staying together? And for some reason we got teammates now just separating. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Fucking drained! Ugh! kind of feel bad for purple at the moment. Trying to get over here as fast as possible. Yeah, they're stacked. Really good. Nothing I can do about that. I don't know what's up with my team. I don't fucking know. Started out the gate really strong. GM, GM, GM. Let's come out. We started out strong, man. And... can we please get together? Yeah, I'm dead. Smart way to take out healers and tanks. Fear them. Not doing too bad. Fire Drakes, though, they're starting to take the board, man. And I think that's the pre-made. Yeah, it is. So, Fire Drakes is the pre-made. We started out stronger than they did, you know. Fucking Dawnbreaker. I guarantee he smacked the shit out of me. That's subterranean assaults. Morning Rock. Kind of crazy, man. I feel like I like Battlegrounds. I like it. I like Battlegrounds. I feel like it's here. It's here. There needs to be more to it. There just needs to be a little bit. And it, you know, for me to come in here on a pre-made, it's like, fuck me, man. Can I please get this motherfucker just to roll it over? Let's go, let's go, let's go. You got something on your nose. Fuck it.
Grab the new capture point. We have secured the point.
Let's go. Let's stop this shit. Let's stop it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Fuck. Not bad, because considering BB and Pickles was in the last group together. They're both night, I think one's a night blade. I don't know. But they were in the last group together. So they're pretty whatever. And considering I was in a pug and scored up over 2, that's pretty good. My healing's over. If off to the right, you're going to see my healing at 3.5. Damage 2.6. I feel like I did good with the pug. Things kind of got a little whatever. Moved out. You know, I couldn't control every situation that come across my way because I'm a healer. But when everything was clicking, I felt like I did good. Stay out of BGs till you're 690. Oh, that's probably good advice. Remember, you know, the funny thing about it is, I feel like there's going to be a level of players who, regardless of your CP, they're going to be competitive, but CP does reflect this game too much, I feel, in certain aspects. Normal dungeons, it doesn't, but in normal and in certain bet dungeons, it doesn't. DLC dungeons, it does. In PvP, it does. Jumping does not mitigate damage in ESO, contrary to popular belief. No, it doesn't. You jump around against Stamma character one time, he'll make you jump. He'll wrecking blow your ass in the sky. He's like, oh yeah, just jump right there. Wham! Wrecking blow or dizzy swing. Hello. Whap. It's like, it's like a ball coming straight across the plate for you, You know it's going to be a home run. All you got to do is just put it straight across and crack it. You don't even have to be a skilled batter. Just crack that bitch because it's coming straight across. It's like, hello. A lot of players like to jump, and I jump if I have to get around terrain, but other than that, I don't jump around, unless I'm playing around or whatever. I feel like Battlegrounds is here. It's a working process. Get the queue separation. And that's the only thing they need to do. That's all they have to do. Under Battlegrounds, there's only one fucking queue. If they would put a queue without CP, so you see the CP symbol with the grab bag, put one without CP, like they do in Cyrodiil. We have one like that in Cyrodiil. Keep the casuals in. Let the casuals play. And then make one for pre-made. Say, okay, you're in a group. You have to go pre-made. Here's your pre-made option. And I feel like the core for Battlegrounds is here. It's here. But, they need to work up on a lot of, counterplay. Counterplay is just the issue in this game. Fuck class balance. I don't give a fuck if Sork can hit harder than I can. If I can somehow get through his shields, if there's a way to penetrate his shields besides Oblivion enchantment, then okay, rock on. But when I have to slot a poison to deal with other classes because I'm a class without these abilities and I don't have access to Oblivion, or I have to sacrifice, then that's going to make the counterplay less attractive. I feel like any class is capable, it should be capable of countering. And that's in this stage, it's not. In Nightblade Detection, it's just terrible. Look, that is a pre-made. Pickles, Cole, and BBB. There you guys have it. They're going to win. And this is going to turn players off. This is what's going to turn players off from Battlegrounds. Players are killing PvP. Players are killing PvP. Because ZOS is letting it happen. They're letting it happen. And it shows. Right there it is. So there's 3 players who's in a pre-made. He's just picking up a 4th random. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter to him. ZOS will get it right eventually. BG's only been around for half a year now. But that's the sad thing, Rock. In this industry, to not know how a battleground works is what's killing it. I want to be a battleground player. I've hit the top 10 on PS already. I've already done that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's no biggie. I have gold jewelry from the sets and stuff. So okay, so what? I can sell them, but whatever. You can buy them and sell them. Sets are terrible. There needs to be better sets for Battlegrounds. They can make things so much better. Get out of that room. Get out of that room. Yeah, baby! Yeah, that's how we heal! No way, motherfucker! Get back here! Get back here! Recognize the name, motherfuckers!
They have taken the point.
Like DMX, what's my name? Oh shit, fear, fear, fear. Ugh! Destro, fear. Yeah. Gotta love it. That's a good CC. That's what one thing I'm telling you, man. So as a Magicka user, it's a good thing that they're able to fear me. I have no problem with the fear mechanic at all in this game. Zero. Why? Because it's up to me to maintain enough stamina to counter it. If I can't counter it, whose fault is it? Well, it's my fault. Why? Because I'm a Magicka user. There should be some here.
Taking the point.
Yep, you're not doing anything for a minute. Especially hiding.
The point is ours.
I like the new change to domination. Kind of gives it a nice twist.
The point is ours.
Really? Here. A little tanky. Fucking didn't get the mark? Come on. Yeah, baby! Yes! Don't question it. Don't question it.
Quickly now. On to
Here.
the capture point.
Oh, what's that? What's that on your face?
No, they've captured the point.
Oh, Daddy! Come home! Come home! Come home! Mage Blade Healer! It doesn't do good. No, of course not. It has no advantages whatsoever. This is my shit. I've been rocking this for a year, man. Don't tell me how to play this, dude. Nobody should tell me how to play Nightblade Healer. Fuck, come on! I love good players, though. That's bad. That's gonna be bad. Good play. Yeah, Fire Drakes are winning. And they're pre-made, you know, and I'm on Stormlords. And, you know, it's cool. But notice that what happened, man. Green already had a teammate drop. It sucks, you know? It's kind of like, it's the worst case scenario most of the time.
Quickly now. On to the new capture point. No, they've captured the point.
I want to mark him.
Secure the point. Capture point is moved.
Mark your night blades, man. If
Grab the new capture point.
oh, not today, boys. No, no, no. No, no. No, no, no. Yeah, you better recognize. You better recognize. You better pull us away. I will heal these motherfuckers till fucking shit hits the fan. Oh, no. Green, no. I'm not your enemy. Oh, that sucks. Got me with the combo. Werewolf. You don't see him much these days. Werewolf can be strong till you hit him with poison, and then they just start crumbling like. Ugh.
No, they've captured the point.
Got me on my 6 though. Can't hate on that. Can't hate on that. That was a good play. Here, let me debuff you first. Hello. Nah. You guys aren't pulling that friggin' shit. Destro ulti? Yeah, that's fine. Ah! Ow. Mystic, I'd go a step further. Make players pick a faction when they start the game, period. You know, and Star Wars and SWG, it was that way. Once you picked a faction, that was it. You had to pick out your faction. You know, Imperial or friggin' Rebel. Those were your options. No exception to the rule. But in this game, it's already set. It's you can't implement something like that now. Great. No break. Ah! What? Oh, son of a bitch! Just right when I was about to recover. Fucking bullshit. Should maybe put Purge on. Maybe. Questionable. A Mag DK is pretty good. Can we please get together? This is where Red's just going to start dominating. Once again, pre-made, man. It's a pre-made. 3 of them are pre-mades, man. What can you do against that? There's not a fucking thing you're going to do. And it takes your casual gamers and whatever. No, 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 no. There comes the red. Oh, that's right. You guys know who your target is now, don't you? Ah! They're not gonna let you res me. There's no fucking way. None of those players are gonna let you res me. They're gonna be like, fuck you. We are not letting that healer up. It's to be expected, man. It's to be expected, you know. You know, and I can't stress enough what Zos is doing by allowing this shit. You know, I can't. I just can't. Zos could sell defectors things in crown stores if someone wanted to switch faction to play with friend. Right! No, I feel like that they could do that, you know? This is gonna cost me. I looked at I just turned the screen, I'm like, oh shit, there they are. It's whatever. You know, I can have fun, you know what I'm saying, to a degree. The question of it is now, like, do I have to get a pre-made to be competitive? It seems that way, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I mean, it's basically saying, well, you know, you can't be competitive unless you do this. You know, and it's like, that sucks. You know, it kind of deflates it. Now, is it going to cause me to leave ZeniMax and leave this game, leave ZOS and ESO? No. I mean, come on, man. There's a lot of things for me in this game. I'm not going to just leave a game because of that shit. Even the best players don't fall for shit. Stay in my sight. Number 1 for my team. For objectives, I think that's a good thing. Outscored some of the other opponents on the pre-made. I'm pretty happy about that. Healing, 414. Nice. Looks good. Damage, always should be healing less. I'm not a DPS. I'm a healer. I don't give a shit about my other shit, you know. But if I roll a pre-made, I can win. Right? I can do it. I can do it all day long. Like, okay, yeah, I want this player and that player on my team. And handpick my team based on their classes and some of their skill. But it'd be like, okay, what's perfect teammate for me? Me, Max Orc, Stam Nightblade, and probably a Stam Warden. Bing. Done. 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 Don't need a fucking tank. I don't need anything but. Rare to see guard skills used in PvP unless it's a pre-made group. Right. And you don't see guard unless it's pre-made. And there's a reason, because you know who your healer is. So your healer's always going to hug those people with the guard. My buddy and I grouped in Battlegrounds, but we're novice at PvP. So it's still like rolling with a full pug. Yeah, and like I said, ZOS did great for developing a battleground. As far as coming into a battleground, I feel ZOS has, like, I'm taking a look at it from competitive level, right? Not to say I'll ever be competitive on that level again. I've never done e-games. That happened after my time, but I was competitive in Battlegrounds. I was a heavy Battleground player in every game I played. It was Guild Wars, Rift, World of Warcraft, so on and so forth. You know, multiple games that I played Battlegrounds. Some games are no longer around. And the funny thing about it is I always take a look at it from competitive side. Like, you know, how do you keep casuals from getting wrecked and enjoying their game? You know, that's my point. Well, there's a couple of things that ZeniMax needs to do. Well, you know, don't worry about balance. When you try to fuck with balance, you fuck PvE over, right? That's what happened with Blizzard. They nerf shit because of arenas. Arenas caused the players to whine and cry so much that Blizzard had to implement nerfs. Just they threw out nerf bats. Like, boom, boom, we're nerfing this and we're nerfing that. What happened? It affected the PvE aspect of the game. So now, well, that one class or that one ability that was used for PvE, because it was so overpowered for PvP, got nerfed. So you don't fuck with abilities, right? That's not how you fix PvP. It's just not. You don't fix PvP by class balancing. You got a class game. Guess what? There's not going to ever be a true sense of balance. ZeniMax has benchmarkers, though, right? So they set a benchmark and they say, well, this is our goal, and this is what we're trying to do to keep everybody at least on par. And it works, right? And people were like, well, there's like a 2,000 point difference. So this class is actually technically more dominant in DPS. So you should always roll this class for this, and you should put them in this gear, and that, and this, and that. And it's like, it's not much, really. Like, ZeniMax does really good. Like, really good compared to other classes. So don't fuck with it. You know, don't fuck with it. When you got something going on that good that just needs some minor tweaks, don't fuck with it. And the only thing that's going to fuck with PvE is PvP. But how do you fix PvP? How do you fix it? Well, You don't mess with the abilities. You play with counterplay options. How a player can counter an effect. Shield stacking is a major problem in this game. And for sorcerers, if you go to every sorcerer, the top sorcerer PvPers, guess what they're doing? They're stacking ward, healing ward with hardening ward. That's what they do. And they can 1vx. Why? Because they have a heal shield and they have a shield. And it's stacking on top of each other. How can you kill him? You can't. You can't. Even if you get down through one shield, the other shield still applies. Separate queue for single 2 players as well. I agree, Rock. I separate queues for 3 to 4 player groups and CP enabled. Simple fix for now. And you're right. You know, you're right, Rock. You are absolutely right that ZeniMax should be. How hard is it to put a different queue in? Queue option. How hard? How hard is it? Now, it's easier said than done, and they got a lot on their plate, and it could be a problem with, you know, because they're running a mega server. And it could be a problem with putting people in that battleground, regardless of CP or whatever. You have to separate nodes, okay? You have to separate the battleground nodes for those queues, right? And you have to. If you don't, that's the problem that you're going to end up having. But by doing that, and when you can do that, it definitely, yeah, exactly. That's what you do. Lewis, but don't you think if they create separate queues, it would create longer queue times before a player can get into a game? Well, Lewis, that depends. Let's say you're a new player, right? And you're under champion 690. Do you think there are going to be a lot of players under the cap? I think there are. So it all depends, and especially depends on your play time. So peak times, you're going to have more queue times, right? During the day like this, I'm on PC. PC is always busy. So I have a problem on PlayStation. If I queue Battlegrounds during the day, my queue times are already slow. Why? Because I'm on console. PC, I don't have that problem. PC, I can literally go on into it and say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and play some Battlegrounds, and I can do that here. You know, and I have no wait time. It's same thing. If there's CP queue, it's not going to, like, say if there's CP and no CP. For the players who don't have CP max and they queue non-CP, keeps it competitive, and they're still going to have high queue times, right? It's still going to have high queue times. CP players simply have it. Now, when you take a look at pre-made would be kind of a rank system. So that's how you would do it. You would put CP pre-made rank or pre-made rank. And what you're doing is creating a different leaderboard for competitive PvPers. You're basically challenging those players. Are you and your friends that good? Are you guys that good? If you are, queue up pre-made. And you'll have players and groups challenging each other. So let's say you and 7 other players want to PvP, right? And you divide your group and you say, okay, you're going to be on team 1, we're going to be on team 2, and let's say another team, you have 12 friends even, and you form 3 groups. You're always going to get queues against each other. It only takes 12 players to keep consistently queuing, right? So the last 3 matches, I was up against the same pre-made team in all 3 matches. So is that a problem? You know? So would you tier the matches by CP then? So players between 300 and 400 would get queued together, or players between 500 and 600 would get queued together, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Ideally, Lewis, you can do that, but basically, I just even simplify it. No CP queue, no CP queue. For players who know CP, they know they're going to be max. By players who have CP, who aren't max, and who just want to play casual, it's just saying, hey, you know, I'm not at max CP. I'm not at max CP. I'm at 544. But am I staying competitive? Well, yeah. Because why? Because I'm a healer. You know, healers are needed in Battlegrounds. You know, when you have a healer in a Battleground and you can keep the teammate, it doesn't matter that they're pugs. I rolled with different players in every Battleground, and I still kind of stay competitive. Am I going to win against the pre-made? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. So the best way to say it is like, okay, I'm not at CP. I'm not max. I'm not in that level of PvP. So how do I, stay competitive? Well, I'm going to queue non-CP. And now I can play with more casual, friendly PvP. And now leave the big boys in their little realm. And then you can even separate it further by saying, okay, we're the pre-made. We're the top dogs. We want the best of the best. And that's what it is. 3 separate queues. You roll it up. And that's what it's fair. And if you want to go, let's say you are a pre-made player. If you want to roll in CP Battlegrounds, that's fine. You're just not able to queue with another player. It basically allows you to still PvP and let players. So you're fighting against your friend now. And healthy in competition, it can be healthy. When I worked in sales at a young age, and me and my wife actually worked together for a short period of time. And we were in the same company, and we were in sales, and we were competitive against each other. And everybody's like, doesn't that put a strain on a relationship? I'm like, no, if anything, it motivates us. It pushes us harder. And the company loved it. Why? Because it made a lot of money doing it that way. We made it fun. We made it be like, oh, you got me today, eh? You got that one additional sale. I saw that close. And she was like, oh yeah, whatever. We joke and we'd have fun. We push each other's little button, but not to be malicious. But that's the funny thing, man. I think ZeniMax has the strongest foundation for an opening PvP. Dakota, when you get time later on, Gary, would you please respond to this message? I commented on earlier, but video, I don't know, you saw it or not, just wanted to know, is PS4 servers for ESO were fixed or not? I don't know. I haven't been on the PS4. Is that for today, Dakota? Or did it happen last night or something? I was on last night and then I logged out, and then they had server maintenance, I believe, or something. There was notification on server maintenance for something. I don't know if it was just PC or what. So I wonder if they have a server maintenance going. It's Wednesday, so usually server maintenance is going on right now. So if it's down, Dakota, it's because of the server maintenance. And it's actually props, Dakota, for knowing my name. A lot of players, I did have my name there for a while, and I switched it up. But, yeah. A lot of people just, some people already know me. Some people, whatever. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think it's server maintenance, Dakota. That's all I think it is. Let me check real quick here for you. I'll go online and take a quick gander. So... Okay. Let's see. PC had downtime. It's already up. And no other... There's no other thing going on right now that I can see. So it should be up. Oh, on the Witches Festival video. Well, it ends November 1st. So November 1st is when everything's, done for the Witches Festival. So all you have to do, I don't know if you did the quest. Make sure you do the quest line. And then when you do it, the biggest thing ZOS needs to do is increase bank space to 600. I even if they made it payable, let's say I had to buy it in Crown Store and I couldn't upgrade in-game, I'm fine with that, actually. I'm still fine with that. They could make money doing things like that. Pre-made could queue in a tournament bracket. Casuals into one off match. More rewarding for pre-maxes and casuals for fun. Todd, I agree. I do. From ESO on PS4, we were in the same guild for a good time. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I do, I do remember you, Dakota. I don't know if we're still in the same guild, but, I definitely love, I still roll players. If you're on my friends list, man, and you ever see me and I'm not doing anything, get a hold of me. I'll rock with you on doing some stuff. I definitely like playing with my subscribers. I like being interactive with my community. They keep adding more gear and no place to store it. Right, and that's my problem. I have a problem. Okay, so I'm like a gearaholic, right? Because I know gears change with every patch. Nothing huge, but minute. And the more gear I have, the more options I have to build around it, right? I just have way more options, you know, to say, oh, okay, yeah, you know, I'll do this. I'm gonna do one more, and then we'll call it for the day. And Delta is back. It's official. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm kind of happy about that because, oh my God. Rock, you need to come to PS4. Yeah, Rock would be very welcome on PS4. You know, just, you know, you can tell he's a seasoned player. And, you know, I don't know, though, Lewis. Here's the deal. Like, PC players. Okay, I'll admit this. I was a PC player for years, right? Hardcore PC. Because MMOs weren't originally available on console. And I'm an MMOer. I'm not a gamer. Like, people are like, you're a gamer? And I'm like last time my daughter had a concert, my friend's like, so what have you been up to? And I'm like, well, I've been doing YouTube. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I do YouTube on the side now and things. So it's kind of like, you know, for about a year now. And he's like, doing what? And I'm like, gaming. And he was just shocked. Like, it was like a new concept or something. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was funny because then all of a sudden, the reason I'm mentioning this is like, he's like, what do you do? Play it on computer? And I'm like, I do now, but I started all with console. And console is great, right? For like, you know, sitting down, having the controller and whatever. And to this day, I can't do the keyboard and mouse on ESO because I'm used to playing it on the controller. But PC players, once you go console, it's just so different. It's not the controls per se. You can adjust to that. It is literally the community. Less problems on PCNA and less toxic. That's what I'm saying. The problem of it is console community is like, I get trolled more by console players than PC players. And that's a fact. It's a fact. And it's sad. And it's like, is it a reflective of their age? I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's hard to pull a PC player into a console. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying a PC is better than console. I'm not saying console is better than PC. When you're a PC player, it's hard to pull away from that. Because you know your community. You know, you have toxicity in every platform. But console players are like, they send PSN like scrub shit to players. Like when you beat a player, right? There's like PSN shit coming up and it's like, oh, you blah, 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 and you blah, 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 and oh, well, and it's just a list of it. And then you have to just block them. Now, on PC, you barely get messages and spams. You do occasionally, but on PS, if people are pissed at you, it's like a spam notification fest. But honestly, I'm a PC gamer. Yeah. An officer in a very large guild with responsibilities too. Because we need to start a Save the Pug guild and make Mystic and guild leader. I love it. I actually have a guild on the PS4. Okay, so a lot of people ask me why don't I want to do like guilds, right? I'm going to be joining a guild soon on PC. I'm just trying to find a nice home. And so for all you PC players out there, if you guys want me in, all my guild spots are open. Every one of them. I won't be a leader anymore. I do have my own guild, and I do have members. But I was a former elitist, and I don't want to be that anymore. And I was a dick. And I don't want to be that. It's just something I don't want to be anymore. I don't feel like this game you have to be. You can do the content. You can play the vet content with just players who know mechanics and know their rotation, know their class. And if you can get that, you can get through a lot of mechanics. And that's why I like to pug, because when I do pugs, I get to show players you can do this even in pugs. A lot of things you can't. You still need some players who know. I'm sure I was joking. I need better company when I play ESO. I own ESO on PC. I just haven't purchased a Morrowind expansion. I just played on the PS4. You know, and that's fine, Lewis. You know, it's hard to make two. Followed by an exposed video. Is that on my Uology or somebody else's? The exposure. I don't do exposure videos. I just do I do rant videos. We all know this. But, you know, it is what it is. To be honest, my guild has chapters on PS and Xbox too. I've been a PC gamer since the late 70s. Yeah, so you did MUDs, Rock. That's where it all began. Like in MUDs. I did MUDs. Loved them in the beginning. You know, and then we transition. You know, everything, you know, after, you know, I think, what it was after 3.1 that UO came out. It was right before 95 too, Windows. So, and I know that, and I forget what edition it was. So for all of you guys who are like younger, we used to have everything in DOS format. I would, but we are stuck. I am an EU and you're NA. Yeah. You know, it's fine, David. I love just conversating with you guys, just in general. Uology, me, we've been playing a lot together on the PS, and he's been helping me out with a lot of my STAM coordination, because I'm okay, but I'm not one of the best STAM players, because my problem is just like timing because of your resources. Resources on stamina is a lot more finicky. You can crack off nice combos really quick on Stam, or one combo, hit them up, get in, and then hit the finisher. Like 3 hits, boom, right? Really nice on Stam players, and that's what makes Stam so deadly. But footing and if I run at a wrong time, I'll get drained out. Just out of curiosity, sorry to kind of take you off the topic, but haven't talked with you in a year or so. Are you still writing your books or a biography? I don't remember exactly what they're called. I am a writer. I have 2 books out. I'm supposed to be working on my sequel. It's already in draft, but you know, I need to work on it more. So the one book I wrote is a poetry book, Changes Within a Life. It's okay. It's all right. You know, I've also done things for Poetry.com. I won 2 awards for being a poet. And then I wrote a science fiction novel called Omega to Alpha, you know, Displacement. And that's a series that I've been working on throughout the years. I was programming Star Trek games in '72. Sweet! Oh my God, that is so awesome, Rock! Oh, I loved it. Oh my gosh. That is so awesome, Rock. I love hearing that. I love it, man. You know, a lot of things have changed in development. Tools have changed a lot. You know, a guy who helped raise me. So basically, like, I had to fall out with my own family. And this guy kind of took me in like the son he never had, and he has daughters, so they were like my sisters. And he was a computer programmer. And that's how I learned how to do things with computers. And I learned base codes, but he used to do the old transfer from binary to, you know, like DOS type shit. It was crazy. It was nuts. The things I learned back then, you know, it was nuts. And I was still never on that level. You know, he had like books of like, you know, binaries that he had to, you know, it would have sequences and stuff. It was crazy. I couldn't get it. No, I'm just saying the PSN shit talk is followed by exposed videos. Right. That's what it is, Zoology. You're right. If there's bullshit going on, they'll post like, and all the exposure players are console players. There's no PC players fucking, I might be wrong, but I don't see PC players doing exposure videos. Like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? It's like, look at me, they're exposed. Dude, I have countless hours of footage of all of these players dying sooner or later. You know, all of them. Every one of them. You know, it's like, oh, you know, you're exposed. On what? Like, you killed me? Like, dude, I have hours of videos of all you guys dying. I have a video of, like, a couple of the top players with my new build saying, fuck that. We're not fucking with it. We're not fucking with it. Fuck you, Mystic. And then a couple of players have gotten around. Dubs was really awesome last night. I got to roll with Dubs. Like I said, him and those, they just feared me out, got me CC'd, and countered me. And I feel like that's the best way to approach this game. You know, devs just need to work on counter mechanics. You know, fuck balance. Don't worry about balance for PvP. Worry about counters. How can I penetrate this shield? If I can't penetrate a double stack shield, that's a problem. If I can't break a CC, is it because I'm out of stamina, or is it because it's too overpowered, or the CC stacks are just too much? That's what ZeniMax needs to address. Not balance and say, oh, let's nerf this, let's nerf that. Don't worry about that shit. That will, unless you put in proper countermeasures, all the fucking nerfs and buffs are not going to fix your gameplay. It's not. It's not. It's about countermeasures. How can I effectively approach this class? Simple. If I can't approach the class, that says something. If I see a Sork and he's double stacked in shields, what chance do I have to kill him? Next to nil. I need a ton of players. I need to drain him. Someone's like, oh, well, you can drain him. Not if he's running drains too. So he's double stacked shields. He's running drains. We both hit each other with drains. He still got the advantage because he's still running double shields. Now he can double shield, weave up on me. I'm trying to heal, try to maintain. I try to hit him, but I can't get through. Why? Because he's double stacked, man. Sure, we're going to both bottom out. Sure, we're going to both pop potions. But at the end of the day, with his shield stack, he's going to be able to weave up a lot more effectively. And that's just the way it is. That's real. So, countermeasures. Like when you hear other YouTubers talk about counterplay, that's what it's talking about. Fuck the nerfs. Fuck the buffs. If you want to address PvP, work on counter. To be honest, I had no idea the shenanigans on the PS were even a thing until Mystic posted about them. That kind of stuff does not happen on that degree on the PC servers, and it doesn't. It doesn't. For the console players, you guys don't really understand the attraction I'm having on PC more and more. Like, there are competitive players here. We know there are. You know, and we can name them. We can. And to me, I feel like each players have pros and cons. But we do not have this type of shit going on PC. And PS is my main. I will always be a PlayStation player. I'm not going anywhere on PlayStation. But I do play this platform. But in PvP, I'm more attracted now on the PC. Because the players, the level of maturity, I think, is just a little bit better. You know? The players are faction swapping. You know who you are. You know what you do. I know you watch my channel. And you guys are killing your PvP community, man. And it's sad. It's sad. ZeniMax, they can't do anything because they're not breaking rules. These players are not breaking rules. They don't deserve bans. They're good players. They're just toxic because they're faction swapping. They're posting exposure videos. They're driving the other players away. And that's why it doesn't pay to be elite. Someone pulls crap with a scroll in Cyrodiil, his own faction calls him out in zone chat. And that's the way it should be. Yeah, you don't pick up, like, on PS, we have players who will literally get on an EP tune. If we have an AD scroll, They will get on an EP tune, take the scroll, and run it towards their faction, towards AD. What can EP do about it? Nothing, because he's on an EP tune. I can't kill him. He's He's on an EP tune. I can't kill him. So he just goes ahead, takes it to the AD, and says, "Oh, here I am, guys. I got our scroll back. Kill me now." Take it, boom, run. It's a problem. It's a fucking problem. It's real. Now, ZeniMax, I think, has a problem with that. But is it an exploit? Yeah, it's an exploit. It's a fucking exploit. It's a bad exploit, man. But we have players that will do that shit, who will play those tactics. And I can call them out, every one of them, name by name. I can list every one of them. I know them all. But I'm not going to. Because what's the point of putting players out like that? It doesn't solve the problem. The problem has to be addressed. I'm getting more and more interested in playing this game on ESO. Yeah. You mean on PC? PC is good. But yeah, I know what you meant, Lewis. Fang Rush made one important point, though. And this is kind of why I agree with Fang Rush, and I agree with him. PvP is great in this game, right? Players can come back, have fun, and it is. It's a siege engine. It's up there with a Dark Age of Camelot. Siege engine, you don't have to fix the siege engine. You don't have to fuck with the siege engine at all, ever. Legend behind the siege engine in this game. Legend programmer. He's a legend. And the major thing about it is this. They need to promote the other servers. But how do you do that? You have a 30-day and then you have 7 days. Well, everybody's going to go to the 30-day. Hello? So how many of the other campaigns are getting issued? Then when you play on primetime, our lag on PC primetime is terrible. Our latency looks like shit. It's gut-wrenching. It's terrible. Back in the day, used to be hackers with super fast move hacks. And players would stop fighting factions to eliminate the hackers. And you know that's true. You know, third-party programs were a big thing in early MMOs. You know, I remember I got busted using a third-party program in UO. Me and Uology had this topic discussion. They put me in jail for 3 days. So it was kind of like a temporary ban. I was still able to log in, but I was literally in jail with all my tunes. So players could see me in jail. That I did something bad. It was like a scorn. Like, oh, you can't even play. You can log in for us to see you. And it was in town. I was like, motherfuck. Because I got caught using a third-party program to, macro my abilities to level them up faster. And it was illegal. Well, it was not illegal by law. It was just against the developers, code of conduct. Joshua Thomas. Just saying, if they are as old as me and cheat at a game, then maybe you shouldn't be playing. Josh, that is a very serious good point there. You kind of hit it right there, on the the nail on the head. And I feel like, like I said, this game's good. ZeniMax did great. They have some of the best developers working in this game. The developers do a good job. They got the benchmarkers. The balance issue, it's not a big thing for me. I played worse. I did a lot worse. This game is so within those fine tunes. They need to work on counterplay. They need to work on keeping competitive and casual PvP separated. And they need to promote the campaigns within Cyrodiil to make it more attractive for players to go to. When you only have a 130-day CP campaign, everybody's going to flock to it. Now you have an overpopulated server. You have underpopulated servers where nobody's around and nothing's being done. It's terrible to me. And then on PS, it's even worse because in the populated servers, you have toxicity of players making alliances, faction swapping, and that's what's killing PvP. It's not the game. It's not the game. It's the little things that kills PvP in this game. Not big things. The little things kill it. So, and like I said, I have fun in Battlegrounds. I did competitive, but you guys saw. 3 times against pre-made, same pre-made, 3 times loss. Did I stay in there? Was I competitive? Yes. With a pug, I did very well against the pug. Not against the pug, with a pug. Now, if you put me in a pre-made, it's a whole different story, man. It's a way different story. You put me in pre-made. You put me in pre-made, shit goes down really bad. But I just don't like it because when I'm facing a pug, it's not competitive. I'm not getting an enjoyment beating the shit out of players, man. I'm not getting enjoyment when I can roll with the pre-made and we wrecking ball everything. It's not fun to me. But that's me. That's me personally. I'm not going to sit here and try to pass judgment on players who want to play like that. I'm not passing the judgment. That's not what I'm doing. So take it for what it's worth. Anyways, guys, I'm going to let you guys go for today. Tomorrow I'll be back on. I'll be working on some more tunes. I'm really glad we had this discussion. I'm always glad to hear from you guys. Myatt's add-on pops up a warning if players is launching an attack on you. Yes, but I can't use Myatt's, man. You know, I'm against Myatt's. Myatt's is good. I know a lot of players use it, but I'm against it. As a PvPer, I won't use Myatt's. On PS and Xbox, you don't need to deal with the Myatt's add-on, though. So there is that. Yeah, definitely. The Myatt's, I won't use Myatt's. Fuck Myatt's. I don't think that add-on should even be allowed. Fuck Myatt's. I'm not using it. It's never gonna happen. So I can't say as of this point, but Bethesda did need to fix server issues on PS4. It's what I meant by server fixes. Okay. That was the reason I quit playing, just until they address the server issues. Well, with this update, our latency has I think a little bit stabilized in PvE. In PvP, it looks good. It looked good today. So there was a couple little issues, but the main test for me is to go in Cyrodiil. You know, fuck a trial. I mean, I'm getting ready to do trials. But for me, that's not the issue. I want to go in Cyrodiil, and I want to see the latency in there. That's what I want to see. Like shards or snipes, lethal injections, tells you to dodge roll. Right. Myatt's is bullshit. Myatt's is... And all the really good players are using it. Like, I'm not saying like the tubers and content creators are. I'm saying the ones that aren't content creators, and all of a sudden you're like, how in the fuck is this dude know to come up on me... And, you know, whatever. Like, it knows how to avoid my shit right then and there. Myatt's. Yeah. It's serious. The add-on is fucking serious. Fuck that add-on. That's all I can say is fuck that add-on. But, yeah, guys. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. But if... Deltia is supposed to be on here in about an hour. So, if you guys are Deltia fans... Go check him out. I'm never going to broadcast during his time. I respect all my content creators. Whether or not I ever agree with somebody, it's never my issue. I always want to respect my fellow content creators. I feel like we all contribute something. I want to promote that. I want to promote the community in a healthy aspect. I love this game. I love you guys. I love everything what this is about. That's why I'm here. This is what I do. I want to thank you once again and always. If you like him, go check him out. And if you have any questions, post below. And have a nice day.